its plans to replace pipes in Gauteng's water system is running ahead of schedule. Residents are urged to use water sparingly, though, to ensure reservoirs don't run dry. Several municipalities in Gauteng have been left without water supply since yesterday. Now, the planned water cuts are expected to continue for 53 hours and will last until tomorrow. For more on this, I'm now joined by Singo, Rand Water's Executive Manager for Zuikerbosch Water Treatment Plant. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on eNCA, Eddie. First thing I would like to mention is, of course, maintenance being ahead of schedule, or the work in progress being ahead of schedule. That's some good news, I guess, for residents. When can residents expect the work to be 100% completed?
Good evening, Barron, and good evening to the viewers of eNCA. And thanks for having us. Perhaps let's start by correcting something. We have scheduled this work for 53 hours. So that 53 hours is basically the duration that it will take us to do the work from beginning to end. It does not necessarily mean that the consumers will be without water for 53 hours. So as we speak now, we haven't received any reports of any water users or from any of the municipalities where they do not have water as a result of this maintenance work. Indeed, we are still ahead. We are ahead of time as per our program. And we are still looking at that 53 hours, but we are excited to report that up to so far, we are doing well in as far as that work is planned.
So basically what you're saying is residents should just be on a high alert.
Yes. As we had indicated from the onset, when we do work of this kind, we make a plea to water users to use water sparingly. Particularly, the challenge may not necessarily be around this period when we do the work itself. We start seeing challenges post the 53 hours because water users would have used up water or depleted the reservoirs, and then it takes time to rebuild the levels of those reservoirs. So even though we are ahead of time, we are still pleading with water users to use water sparingly.
Now, you mentioned the 53 hours of work that needs to be done. Does that mean you already know how much of those hours, work has already been done, and how many of those hours are still left?
Yeah, that will have to be a very quick calculation. We started yesterday at 5 o'clock. We are now at 8 o'clock. So we are left with just about 14 hours, just about 14 hours, is it, until 10 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, it's a very quick calculation.
So when can Joburg and...
More than 24 hours, yeah.
Okay, so basically, from the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, residents can be in a so-called green zone, a safe zone.
Indeed, residents will still be in a safe zone until tomorrow evening.
Fantastic. And just mention to us some of those areas that are that could possibly mostly be affected if there is any hiccups.
We have issued communique that speaks to municipalities that are going to be affected. That speaks to the 6 municipalities: City of Ekurhuleni, Thembisile, Hani, City of Tshwane, Victor Khanye, Govan-Beki, and Lesedi. So each of those municipalities have also indicated areas within their spaces that may be affected. But it is important to indicate that we've been monitoring reservoirs with the municipalities themselves. Both our reservoirs and their reservoirs are still looking good, except really for the area of Brakpan, where we are seeing the reservoir dropping quicker than we would have anticipated. And that is really the area where we are emphasizing the use of water sparingly because we don't want to get to a point where that reservoir is depleted.
All right, thank you so much. That's Eddie Singo, Rand Water's Executive Manager for Zuikerbosch Water Treatment Plants. And of